Hey all, it was 2002 in the middle of the Toonami era. I was 12 at the time enjoying my good old anime Dragon Ball Z on good old Cartoon Network. A commercial came on and it was for this game. It showed me I could relive the experiences I just had witnessed on the television right in the palm of my hand. And I was hankering for another game on my freshly acquired Game Boy Advance. So I got this game, but little did I know what awaited me. This is a story. This is Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku. The game is the first of three, developed by a little-known company by the name of Webfoot Technologies and published by Ye Olde Atari in 2002. Webfoot themselves wasn't known for very much except for a plethora of PC games in the 90s, as well as some other polar opposite licenses later on, like Hello Kitty and My Little Pony. The Legacy of Goku series was actually one of their better-known works due to the popularity of Dragon Ball Z at the time. The game itself sold an outstanding 1.52 million copies in North America, and despite the fantastic sales, it was not very well received. The game was met with criticism. Reviews for it tanked hard, with a critic average around 53 on Metacritic, with complaints about the game being too brief or having an aggravating combat system. Despite the poor reception and criticism, they did end up making another 2 games in the series, in which they massively overhauled the mechanics into an enjoyable experience. But I will be going over those games in another series at a much later time. That being said, I'll voice my opinions and possible frustrations as we go along, since I've already been too pre-game wordy. So without further ado, I give you... Alright, with that pixelated intro out of the way, this is Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku, a game of my childhood, very much so. We're gonna just jump right in, and as we notice right at the beginning, the game slows down its frame rate because it can't load a basic Windows screensaver from way back in the day. The story's fairly basic. It's years after the events in Dragon Ball, so Goku takes his son over to a reunion between him and his friends. We've got good old Master Roshi, who was Goku's teacher. We have Krillin, which is Goku's best friend, and we got Bulma, who shared many of his Dragon Ball journeys with him. And then there's, well, Turtle, which is Master Roshi. I would call him Master Roshi's pet. But starting off, we want to talk to Master Roshi, and he's going to say that he wants us to collect his dirty magazines for him, because he's a perverted old man. And that's kind of the appeal of him. So, if we notice right off to the right, we have the first magazine here. This is actually another character in this series. This is Chi-Chi. This is Goku's wife on the cover of this magazine for some strange reason. And Gohan's standing right next to it, so that just makes it even worse. Better keep Gohan from seeing this magazine. So there's that. And then up on the north side of the beach, we've got another cover here. It's actually Bulma on this cover, and she's standing on the south side of the beach. And then thirdly, the last one right here is going to be this gelatinous redhead. I don't know who this could be, but it's whatever, generic redhead. They could have used Launch or something, but whatever. So now that we've got all these good old magazines figured out, we're going to turn them into the perverted old bastard. And he's going to give us a sensu bean, which is going to be a recovery item. And then turn in the next one and he'll give us another one. And then turn in the third one and he'll give us an herb, as well as some experience. Which reminds us that this is an RPG game and you in fact level up in it. Alright, so going on ahead, Raditz shows up. He's gonna explain to Goku that he's Goku's brother. Goku's name is really Kakarot, and he's a Saiyan from the planet Vegeta. He also explains Goku's mission was to destroy pretty much all of the civilization on this planet so he could reclaim it for whoever the Saiyans work for, which I will explain at a later time. But Goku says he will never do anything to hurt the people of planet or Earth because he bumped his head as a child and he forgot everything. So Raditz doesn't like that, and he takes Gohan off to, no, he just kidnaps Gohan. Then Piccolo shows up, which is, I'd say Goku's rival in, well, I can't really say Goku's rival in Dragon Ball, but it was probably one of the last enemies in the Dragon Ball series. And they fought each other in the World Martial Arts Tournament, and Piccolo just wants Goku dead at kind of like this point in time. But he's got a bone to pick with Raditz, so they've got to team up. And that's the first episode of Dragon Ball Z in a nutshell. So they're gonna team up, and we're gonna take on Raditz, and blah 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 blah. We get all that intro stuff out of the way. So now we can actually move on to the game. Now that I'm taking my flying Nimbus out. And what does Goku do? He goes straight home for some reason instead of going straight to Raditz. So let me explain how. Okay, forgot about that. So let me explain how this game works out. You can move in 4 directions. You can move up, down, left, right. There's no diagonals. It's just kind of static controls like that. You have your Kai blasts that you can fire with the B button, and then you've got your basic melee attacks that you can fire with your A button. On top of that, if you press R, you can fly, and then that uses a flight gauge, so you don't want to deplete that too often. But we're just gonna go along. We're gonna beat up some crabs real quick, and hopefully they can show exactly why this game is horrible. Actually, right there. This game's got a really, really weird damage calculation system. Like, half the time they won't hit you, the other half of the time they'll, like, mortally injure you to the point of destruction. Like, actually right there. So it makes it really hard to gauge how well that you're doing in this game. You can only hope to gain levels and gain more health because it's just difficult. Oh, look, we ran into an invisible wall. First glitch! Yay! You're gonna find me saving very often in this game for a reason I'll explain in a minute or two if I happen to die. Which is very possible with this wolf. Oh, maybe not. Okay. But I'll probably end up dying on the next enemy. But pick up another sensu bean. We're just gonna rush along. There's really nothing too exciting that happens in this point of the game. This is probably one of the longest parts of the game, probably one of the more frustrating, since you only have your basic attacks and everything likes to want to destroy you in like a couple hits. So bear with me. Bear with me. So we're gonna make our way over here across the scenic route. And let me save real quick because I don't want to. Well, if I die, then yeah. So I'm just gonna try to be careful here and take on this wolf long range. Oh wow, I made it. Cool. Wolves and crabs, they give you like about 70 experience pop, I believe, each time that you kill, so it's a good amount of experience. So we covered that area. Let's kill all the snakes real quick so I can get some experience. I don't mean to grind on screen. Huh. On screen, that's just sometimes it's gonna happen a little bit. That's fine though. I'll cut out most of it if it gets a little too much. But since we're at the beginning of the game, it's no big deal. So we're gonna move on to the next area up to the north. And here we go. Let me save right here. I'm gonna wanna save on pretty much every screen or every time I make progress. So moving on, we go to this pterodactyl here. Not an enemy, she's just missing her egg. And we're just gonna wanna find it for her since this kind of introduces the quest system we have going on with this game. The game runs on a quest system. Actually, Master Roshi explained the quest system, or showed the quest system. So we've got that, and you notice to the right we have this rock here. You wouldn't know it, but we're gonna need that. We're gonna actually need 3 of those, and I'll explain that in a second too. Down to the south, this is where our next rock's gonna be. That brings us to 2 rocks. So 2 out of 3. The third one's gonna be up north and right near the egg, so. There's that. So, I'm gonna try to... Game over. First episode, game over. Trust me, that's a common occurrence for this begin part. So I'll just cut ahead to where I was at. Real quick. Just to let you know, the reason why I save so often is that they save the inventory on it. So we've got the 2 stones that we have earlier. On top of that, they'll save the experience for you before you died. So you'll start off the area again with the same experience that you had, as well as full health. So that's a very helpful tip, and one that I will be abusing quite frequently, because this game is hard as hell. Because of the way how they have it. Well, at least the beginning part is. It won't be as bad as we move on and we actually get some power. Oh, sweet. Double kill. Woo! Alright, so now that we're massacring wolves and saving after every 3 wolves. Actually, we don't want to go up here. Alright. We want to move up to the right. So I can show you this area real quick. This is the reason why we need the rocks. Right here is this pool of water. We have an old man who's over on the other side, and he's trapped here, and he's afraid of heights. So we just need to create a bridge with the rocks that we find so he can cross, and we can get our reward, which is experience. Oh, that's easy enough. So moving on to the north a bit. Woo! Moving on to the north a bit. We're not dying, so that's fantastic news for us. Alright, excellent. We find 2 other friends. We have Tien and we have Chatsu, and talking to them is just gonna accomplish us getting more experience, which is something we're in dire need of, because we can get more health and we can get more ki. And then much more powerful in essence for that. So each of them, they're gonna give you 500 experience. Oh, well, I think talking to Chatsu is just gonna make me level up anyway, so that's good. Alright. And we've got our nice experience. So, level 5, getting some health, so we're a little bit more survivable. The thing I'd like to mention about ki, the reason why more ki is important, the more ki that we have, the less that we need to hold down the button to charge. And a fully charged ki blast is pretty much a fully charged punch, so a fully active punch, so it helps out significantly. We don't have to worry as much. And there's our 3rd stone. And I could, well, I don't know, that's finicky. Every time, here's the problem with fly. You can't really go over everything with it. There's just some obstacles that just makes it really difficult. So I can't really get that herb, unfortunately. At least not like that. So we're gonna fly over here, and we're gonna grab this because we're gonna need it. And we got a hard pterodactyl enemy that we're gonna want to avoid like the plague and just kind of fire from away. Okay. Sure, why not? So we're gonna cut ahead, and I'll be back. All right, we are back. We are going to rematch this bastard. So the trick with this guy is that you're gonna want to keep your distance. I tried to do that last time. It didn't work out too well because he kind of got close to me. Just fire ki blast at him. If he gets too close, just fly away. He won't be able to hit you since you're pretty much invincible when you fly. Actually, that's exactly the benefit to flying. That's the reason why they put the flight charge for balance issues. So just keep firing away, and then hopefully you can actually beat him. And like that, we got it. So this is pterodactyl egg. So I'm gonna meet you guys back to where the pterodactyl is, as well as where the old man is. So I'll see you then. All right, we are at the old man. We created the bridge for him. So what is he gonna give us? He is going to give us some herbs as well as some experience. And then on top of that, he's gonna give us a speed increase, which is something that's very important for us. That's gonna help us later on for bosses in the future, as well as more powerful enemies. That's probably one of the best things that could happen. So now working our way to the pterodactyl mom. Let's see, she is right here. We give her her egg back, and then she's gonna give us some experience for that. So, not too shabby. There's better things that you could get. It's mainly the old man that's more important, in my opinion. And now that we're level 6, our ki blasts are pretty much fully charged anytime we fire. So we've pretty much turned powerful now. Very handy to have. Such a powerful presence just across this river. All right, so across the river, we got this big, strong dinosaur thing. This thing is a sponge for damage, so you're just gonna want to fire a ton of ki blasts. And if it gets too close, we do the same strategy as we did for the pterodactyl. This thing hits really hard. Really, really hard. And like I said, it just absorbs damage like crazy. I mean, we don't have to kill it, but I just kind of want the experience off of it. So this is gonna be the last enemy we killed in the episode anyway. Just to give you an idea of how long this thing just sucks up damage. Jeez, it's still not dead. Oh my god, how is it not dead? There we go. Jeez. And it gives you a lot of experience for that. Oh my god, I can't believe I made it through there. So I'm gonna save real quick. And that just shows you the first frustrating part of this game. Just the very first part. It gets a little bit less frustrating on it because in the next part we're gonna learn a brand new move. But in this area we're gonna accomplish a lot of quests. And we're gonna get a bunch of experience. So with that, this is Ryu. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.